Here, my name is Arun Jacob, and I'm a licensed New Zealand immigration advisor. I'm also an Education New Zealand trained advisor to talk about international education in New Zealand. My team and I, we are specialists in creating migration through education pathways for young people from different parts of the world who would like to come and study in New Zealand. Today, I'm going to talk about the different kinds of institutions that you can look at as an international student coming into New Zealand. I'm going to talk about the tertiary level of institutions, which means tertiary education, as you're aware, is education that you pursue after you complete your secondary school. So I'm talking about that level of institutions here. As far as international students are concerned, coming into New Zealand, you are essentially looking at three main types of institutions. The first is the universities. The second is the institutes of technology or polytechnics. And the third is called the private training establishments. Now, in New Zealand, we have universities which are totally 8 in number, starting from University of Auckland and AUT University based in the city of Auckland in the north. And then when you come down to the city where I live, which is Hamilton, we have the University of Waikato, which is the third university. And then as you keep going further down south in the country, then you come to Palmerston North, and we have Massey University there. And then when you go further down, you go to Wellington, and there is the Victoria University at Wellington. And further down moving into the South Island, you have University of Canterbury and Lincoln University in the city of Christchurch. And right at the one of the southernmost cities in New Zealand called Otago, we have the University of Otago, which, by the way, is the oldest university in New Zealand. So we have 8 universities, which is, I think, a very good number to have for a country where the total population size is approximately 4.2 million people. So, and these are all good universities. All the universities in New Zealand are owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. So there's a very high level of accountability in the delivery of the courses and the curriculum. And there is some of these institutions are also ranked very high in the global rankings. And so we do have a very robust and solid university system in New Zealand. To outsiders, it might look like we only have 8 universities, but they absolutely adequately support the requirements of our country, as well as international students like yourself who are coming into this beautiful land to pursue your higher education. Now, the universities are more inclined towards providing research-orientated and very academic kind of studies. So obviously the requirement to get into a university is higher as compared to the other institutions. And the entry criteria can be quite rigorous, and especially now that New Zealand is increasing in demand as a desired destination for international students from different parts of the world. There is a fair amount of pressure on our universities, so the selection criteria is quite strict. And but for anybody with the right academic and English skills, you should be able to get into a New Zealand university. Moving on to the second kind of institution is the Institute of Technology. Earlier they were called polytechnics, so now they're called ITPs, which is Institution of Technology and Polytechnic. These are 16 in number in New Zealand. So there are 8 universities and 16 institutes of technology in New Zealand. And these are also owned and operated by the government of New Zealand. So again, a very, very high standard. Again, a very high accountability towards the students who are enrolled, and not necessarily just the international students, but also the domestic students who join the institutes of technology as well as the universities. So the quality of the education is very, very high. The institutes of technology are more practical oriented in their delivery and methodology of teaching. The courses are more inclined towards giving you practical training and knowledge on particular subjects. So to take a simple example, if you're going to a university, you'll probably be understanding the science and the logic behind software programming. Whereas when you come to the actual technical aspect of just the software programming, you're learning just the coding side of software. So that kind of gives you an idea about the research side and the practical application side of a particular subject. Not to say that the institutes of technology do not offer research-based courses. There are some fantastic courses also offered by the institutes of technology, which are also research-based. But by and large, the institutes of technology are geared more towards providing practical job-oriented kind of training as compared to the universities, which are more academic and research-based in their learning and in their teaching. The third kind of institution is called the private training establishment, and as the name itself indicates, the private training establishment is a private institution that has been set up by a private party. Of course, they do work under the guides and norms of a government department called the New Zealand Qualifications Authority, which ensures that there are regular audits conducted of these institutions to ensure that the quality is being maintained and the desired outcomes for students are also being maintained. Now, most of these private training establishments would cater to particular subject areas or to a particular core skill acquisition for students. So I mean, I can quote, for instance, at least two very, very highly rated private institutions which are doing excellent work in areas like 3D animation and visual effects. So the private training establishments have been established under the government rules and regulations, but they are run by private parties. So they are obviously for-profit organizations, and by virtue of being for-profit organizations and having to show a good outcome of their students, they are also quite keenly engaged in seeing the success of their students. And quite a lot of the private training establishment kind of institutions, they complement their domestic students with a lot of international student enrollments as well. And so it's a good mix of for learning environment in this private training establishment. And the New Zealand Qualification Authorities, it runs an audit on these institutions at a given interval, and they also publish the results of these audits on their website. So it is out there for anybody who is keen to understand the background and the efficiency and the success rate and the confidence that NZQA has in these institutions is clearly published on the NZQA website. So these are the three kinds of institutions. The entry level and criteria for universities is obviously higher because, as I said, they are more research and academically orientated, and also they are not looking at droves and droves of people coming into their institution. They are essentially looking at picking the best and ensuring they get the highest quality education. Then followed by institutions of technology or institutes of technology, which are 16 in number. And there has been a consolidation of some of these institutes of technology coming together and combining to become a more compact unit to be able to serve students better. One example is the Bay of Plenty Polytechnic and the Wairiki Institute of Technology combined now to become something called the Toi Ohomai Institute. So that's one example of the consolidation that's happening. And as I stated, the private training establishments are spread all across the country, and they are also offering very, very good quality education. As an organization, we at AJB, we work only with the top institutions in New Zealand. So if you are seeking an admission into one of these institutions, I welcome you to talk to our team, and we would be more than happy to assist you in choosing the right course and the right institution, something that will match your current profile and your future aspirations as well. So look forward to working with you. Thank you for watching my videos, and always happy to provide more advice. Please leave your comments or connect with us through the links below this video, and we look forward to working with you and welcoming you into New Zealand. Thank you for watching my video. Here.